Sup, guys? Today, I want to talk about why I believe that Buddha is the not Buddha. Why I believe that Xi Jinping is the reincarnation of Buddha. You know, 2,500 years ago, right, when Buddha died, he said he's gonna come back exactly 2,500 years later, and right now is the time, right? And he said he's gonna come back to become the great wheel turning monarch. Okay, and this video I want to tell you why I believe Xi Jinping is the Buddha reincarnate. Okay, but the reason is because I don't know. It's recently Taiwan Strait in China. The situation is becoming very tense. Um, for example, the Kishida, the new Japanese prime minister, right? Kishida was his Fumio. Yeah, Kishida Fumio. He was elected to office September 29th. And situations become more strenuous. But before I talk about that, I want to tell you myself, Shu, I'm the guy who invented physical mortality rings. These are rings that you put on your small fingers to sleep. You wear them, you don't age anymore. You become physically immortal. For example, I'm already 50. See, if you look at me, you can tell I don't really work out. My belly is still really, really smooth. I never work out, never ever. In 3 months, I'll be 51. I still look pretty good, right? If you go to livemuchlonger.com, you can see lots of Amazon customers' reviews. Most of them give me 4 stars, 5 stars. So if you're interested, livemuchlonger.com, livemuchlonger.com, okay? Anyway, at this video, I'm going to have to show you a whole bunch of slides. Pictures, so you can understand what I'm saying, okay? Yeah, the Buddha used to be a prince, right? Everyone knows that. One day, he decided to leave the palace. It's called renunciation of the Buddha, right? He wants to leave the palace and become a monk. And it's like when he's leaving the palace, he had a dream, okay? And the dream is like this, there's a monster, there's like a warrior figure, and his name is Mara. Okay? He came to Shakyamuni and told him, hey, don't leave, If you stay inside the palace, and I guarantee you within 7 days, you will become the great wheel-turning monarch. You just have to stay put a little more. Just within 7 days, you will become the great wheel-turning monarch. And Buddha said, no, I don't want to stay here anymore. It's cool. I just want to leave the palace. I want to become a monk, because I want to gain physical mortality. I want to reach nirvana. I want to solve all the problems in the world. So I'm out of here. And then he dreamed that his horse. There's actually 4 angels that raise up his horse. Okay, and basically left up his horse into the air. And he did not pass through the palace gate. He flew over the palace gate. There's a palace gate, right? There's like the east gate, okay? And 4 angels carry his white horse, and then they flew over the palace gate. So he's like an airplane or something. He's like a bird on top of the palace gate like that. And then the Mara monster still told him that, hey, you know what? My prophecy will stay with you for the rest of your life. It will be fulfilled. Within 7 days, you will become the great wheel-turning monarch. Okay, you see this? This is exactly what it looked like. You see, the 4 angels raise up his horse, right? So he's on top of the palace gate. This look exactly like the Chinese emblem. The the People's Republic of China's emblem, right? You see 4 stars surrounding this one huge star right on top of the palace gate. It looked just like the emblem of China. And lots of other prophets also saw stuff like this. For example, Ezekiel chapter 1, right? the turning the wheel of, it's called the wheels of Ezekiel. You know, there's like Ezekiel saw like four angels. They look like fire. Four angels that look like fire, and then there's like a throne on top of the four angels. You know, and there's like a, and that guy also looked like a fire. He looked like sapphire stone. He looked like burning bronze. Okay, and then and then the whole thing is like fiery. The whole background is like red and yellow, and it looked like it's brimstone and it's burning. Everything looks like it's burning, you know. And then the four angels, they spread open their wings, and they're like sort of like connected to each other, and then they surround this one huge angel on top of on the top. And based on Ezekiel, the wheels are very huge. The wheel is huge, you know. The wheel is so huge, it looked like a Ferris ride. You know, you go to amusement park, right? You see those what do you call those Ferris wheels? Um, Based on Ezekiel, okay, it's supposed to be one huge wheel, but then some people think it's like four wheels. You know, some describe as four wheels. Actually, it should be one huge wheel because all the four angels surrounding the throne should be inside the wheel. You know, if you look at the Chinese emblem, right? The Chinese emblem, it has four wheels in it. The first wheel, okay, the biggest wheel, that's actually wheat. You know, that's actually wheat. It's basically it's like wheat grass, and then the second wheel inside is rice, and they are full of eyes, right? For example, Ezekiel chapter 1 said the wheels are full of eyes. If you look at a Chinese emblem, it's also like that. The the first wheel is wheat, okay, and you can see they are full of eyes. They're actually buds. They're not really eyes. They are, you know, wheat buds. And the inner wheel is the rice, in rice buds, right? But they look like they're full of eyes. And then you see at the bottom there's a small cock wheel. There's a cock wheel. Inside the cog wheel, there's also a small circle. It looked like a wheel too, you know. So there's actually four wheels inside this Chinese emblem. And Ezekiel said, you know, Ezekiel said, oh, it looked like wheels within the wheel, you know. I think this is it. I think the Chinese emblem is it. And then you see the four angels. They look like fire. They look like burning fire. And then the throne, you know. And then the wheels are very huge because look at that. At the bottom of the wheel is the palace gate. So the wheels must be very, very tall. You know, the wheels almost look like a, you know, the amusement park Ferris wheel, you know. So this is exactly what Ezekiel saw. You know, in his chapter 1 book, right? That's exactly what he saw. And this guy, whoever's sitting on the throne, he's the wheel turning monarch. Okay, that's what Buddha saw. That's what Buddha saw in his dream. Mara promised him to become the wheel turning monarch within 7 days. And Daniel also saw it. Daniel chapter 7, he also saw something like this. He saw, it's called the Ancient of Days, you know, and he has a wheel of fire. And there's like fire, river of fire coming out of the wheel, you know. Daniel Daniel chapter 7, Daniel also saw something like this. And not only Daniel, there's this character was also recorded in Revelation chapter 4. Revelation chapter 4, they also saw something like this. You know, Prophet John also saw something like there's four animals full of eyes. You know, four different animals bowing down to somebody sitting at the throne, and the guy who's sitting on the throne looked like he's on fire. He looked like a fiery brimstone. You know, there's four animals surrounding him, and then there's also a wheel and shit. You know, so this is I'm serious. This is Xi Jinping. Also, who is Mara, the guy who promised him 7 days? Within 7 days, you will become the great wheel turning monarch. I believe that's Donald Trump because Donald Trump, Donald Trump is MAGA, right? Make America great again, MAGA, right? And in his dream, he saw somebody. His name is Mara. You see the similarity? So you count. Donald Trump became president in 2017. You count 7 years. 7 years. Within 7 years, Xi Jinping will conquer Taiwan. He will also defeat Japan, and he probably will defeat United States. And then Xi Jinping will come here. Xi Jinping will come to the west coast of the United States. You know, there's also another dream that the Buddha had. He's sitting, you know, behind. I mean, he's sitting beneath a fig tree. But anyway, that's a totally different story. I'm not going to talk about that today. Um, and also Buddha. Okay, with everybody, back in the days, there's a prophecy saying that Buddha has 108,000 miles or 108,000 trees, whatever. 108,000. And Xi Jinping, how come 108,000 is related to Xi Jinping? That's because he was chosen to be president of China in the 18th Congress, 18th Congress of People's Republic of China. 18th Congress. In Chinese, it's called 18大, means 18 big. So when something is big, it must be 1,000 or 10,000. You're talking about a big number, it must be 1,000 or 10,000. Because in China, right, they say, they call kings 万岁, 万岁. 万岁 means 10,000 year old, 10,000 year old. See, if you're somebody important, you got to be at least 10,000 year old. That's what it means. 千岁 means 1,000 year old. Then you got to be like somebody really, really important. You got to be a very, very high up official. So 18大 means 18 big. So 108,000. Is Buddha's number, and coincidentally, he became the president of China during the 18th congressional meeting. You know, so and then Buddha also told his disciple that he will be back in exactly 2,500 years later. You can check the internet. Buddha died exactly 2,500 years ago. Yeah, he died exactly 2,500 years ago. Now he's back. And you know what? Xi Jinping looked just like Buddha, I'm talking about he looked like all the Buddha statues, all the Buddha statues, all the Chinese TV shows, when they play Buddha, when they hire an actor to play Buddha, they hire actors who look just like Xi Jinping. It's kind of funny. Now, I'm talking. This is like before Xi Jinping was famous. These actors. They look like Xi Jinping ever since like 30, 40 years ago. When they Chinese TV show, they play. They have a Chinese TV show, and if they find someone to play Buddha, it's funny. They hire someone that looks just like Xi Jinping. And so that's why I believe Xi Jinping is the great wheel-turning monarch. He's gonna defeat Japan, defeat Taiwan, and he's gonna someday come here. He's gonna come to the United States. Then he has to meet his disciple. His disciple is Mahashara. Mahashara. Well, in Judaism, that's the Messiah. See, Buddha in Judaism, Xi Jinping is actually Aaron, and the Messiah is Moses. And the reason why, this Buddha's reincarnate is called the wheel turning monarch is because there is such a wheel. Okay, if you ask any, I don't know, any monk, right? These old monks, You ask him how come Buddha would be the wheel turning monarch. The monk will tell you, oh, because he has a wheel. He has like some sort of mechanical wheel that helps him gain power. And they will tell you the wheel is there's a golden wheel, there's a silver wheel, there's a bronze wheel, there's a metal wheel. There's basically four wheels. If you look at a Chinese emblem, the golden wheel is the biggest wheel, and then the silver wheel, right? And then the third wheel is the bronze, and then the smallest one is the metal wheel. If you look at the Chinese emblem, right? Yeah, it has exactly four wheels. The first wheel is the wheat. It's the biggest outer layer of the wheel, right? It's the wheat. Wheat does have a golden color. And then the inner wheel is the rice. Rice is white, right? It does sort of look like silver. And then the little cog wheel, right? You see that cog wheel? And then that cog wheel is bronze. And then inside the cog wheel, there's another small circle. That must be the metal. So it does have the four wheels. And these old monks would tell you, oh, if you see, he's a great wheel turning monarch because he has these mechanical wheels that help him gain power. He will be like the most powerful leader of the whole world. He would unite the whole world. That's what they teach you in Buddhism. The wheel turning monarch is the reincarnation of Buddha, and he's gonna come with this wheel which gives him great power. Well, well, is China's Liberation Army great enough?